This is Steve Schiffman. I want to thank you for joining me again for another podcast, webcast, that we present to you to help you sell more. As I promised you, this will be only 10 minutes, and I'll give you some tips that you can use today, not tomorrow, not 6 weeks from now. And also, there's no conversation here. I don't bring in 45 people to tell you their success story so you can feel guilty about why you're not making cold calls. I know that feeling. I mean, I used to listen to that. When I started out, I would listen to all these people say to me, well, this is what I do. This is what works. This is right. And I found out half the stuff wasn't right. For example, closing. The number one thing that I heard when I started was ABC. Do you know what that is? ABC. Always be closing. I heard that all the time. Always be whatever you do, always be closing. Always be closing. I didn't know what that meant. Slap the guy, say to her, come on, close. What do you do? Baby needs new shoes. You know that one. In fact, I had somebody come in to sell me, and he said, Mr. Schiffman, if I get this sale today from you, I'm going to win the presidential trip to the Caribbean. That's what and I actually bought that for a second until I thought about it. And I said, really? Interesting. Well, anyway, the point is that there's only one reason your sales don't close. It's only really one reason. And if you thought about it, it's kind of obvious. It's because the proposal, or recommendation as I call it, isn't right. No, just think about that for a second. If you presented the right item, the right product, or the right service to the right person at the right price at the right time, you'd make a sale. So one of those rights is missing. Do you know what it is? I don't, because you're the only one there. How have you developed the proposal or recommendation? And please call it recommendation. It isn't as formal as a proposal, because what do you think they're going to do immediately after they look at your proposal? They're going to go to the last page and look at the price, because that's what they really want. So in fact, what I do is I put the price up front. I tell them right away, this is what it's going to cost. But the point I'm making is it's got to be the right person, right timing, right product. It's got to be all those right prices. It's got to be all rights. And if it's wrong, by any stretch of the imagination, it's wrong, you're probably not going to make the sale. So you want to think about how you prepared that. What is the information that you ask? You can't just go in and say, what do you need? People do that. They go, what do you need? Well, I don't need anything. Oh, well, you must need something. No, I really don't. I'm working well. We've got equipment coming in. Everything's fine. See, that won't work. What really works is understanding what they do and whether or not you, as a salesperson, can help them do what they do better with your product or service. The real issue, of course, is that you're selling a commodity. You're selling what everybody else sells. Here, for example, I have a pair of scissors here. Scissors. Well, how many companies, how many stores sell scissors? And depending upon what they do, whether for hair or paper or whatever, people buy them. No one's looking for you to show up and say, hey, you got scissors. See, that's not happening. So you have to understand what the person does, how they do it, when they do it, where they do it, who they're doing it with, why they're doing it that way. And then your job is to help them do it better. That's all you do. You help people do what they do better. If you do that, you're going to win. You help people do, I'll repeat it, you help people do what they do better. I told you, there's no nonsense here. I don't give you little dribble stuff. I give you something direct. Now, follow this out, because here's how I close. Honestly, this is it. This is the entire game right here. By the way, don't forget, before I get done, I'm going to give you the word of the week so you can win a book. And by the way, I've gotten people writing me with the word of the day, so it's kind of fun. But here's the point. If, in fact, I've developed the right proposal or recommendation for that particular client, all I have to do is say, it makes sense to me. What do you think? That's all I say. This makes sense to me. What do you think? This makes sense to me. What do you think? That's it. I'm done. Now, they may come back with an objection, but listen now carefully. If you've done it right, that is, you've done the steps properly, the objections will come in earlier than that. Well, the price is too high because you discussed it earlier. See, if you wait till the end and say, hey, here's your price, $40 billion, well, of course they're going to react to that. But if you start to mention it earlier, or you start to mention delivery time, or you start to mention the color, or the way it's going to look, or how it's going to feel, all of that gets reactions. See, selling is a reaction game. It's getting people to react to you about what you're talking about. Sometimes when I do a seminar, not only sometimes, always when I do some kind of seminar, which, by the way, I still do, and you can reach me to talk about that, but if you want a seminar, what I do is I carry a little rubber ball. In fact, I mentioned this last time. And I throw it out. Now, some people deflect it, knock it off, and some people catch it. What you're trying to do is get the prospect to catch the ball and play ball with you. That's the whole thing. And they'll play ball with you if you're playing fairly. If you're not, they're not going to play ball. Why would they? Why would they play ball with you if they think what you're selling is just what everybody else is selling? Okay, secret word is solid. Secret word is solid. Write that in an email to me. Send you a free book. Solid. If I choose you, I got to pick you. I got to pick you. Solid. SOLID. That's the key word. Remember, 10 minutes. That's it. 10 minutes a day. Every day, 10 minutes. No stuff. No 45 interviews. I was interviewed a couple weeks ago, and somebody said to me, we have 45 minutes, Steve. We'd like you to speak 40. I'm thinking, so what are you going to do? You're going to say hello, and I'm going to say 40 minutes? I don't do that. I don't want to do that to you. I want you to be able to listen to what I speak about and use it. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to start thinking differently when you go in to make your sale. Instead of going in and talking to them about what you do, which is irrelevant, you're going to talk about what you can do for them. But in order to do that, you have to know something about them. Now, here's the mistake. And it's a mistake of our age because we do this. Age meaning time now. We go to Google. Everybody goes to Google. Sales Google, Dr. Google, we go to Google. And we look them up and we say, oh, they must be doing this. They do this and they do that. And you know what? We're probably wrong. Because we go in and say, yeah, I guess you make pencils. Well, the guy says, yeah, we did that once. We don't do that anymore. But it says in the website, yeah, I know. We just never really took that off. Because if you went back to page 47, which of course you didn't do, you'd find that we're manufacturing pens, ballpoint pens. But you're still talking about pencils. You get it? Sometimes we use Google wrong. We look and see LinkedIn, Google, Facebook. We look at all this stuff to say, okay, what do I need to know? What you need to know is that you have an appointment with somebody to meet them and talk about who they are and what they do and why they do it and how they got the job in the first place. That's what you need to know. So, my lesson today is get appointments, meet people, have conversations, real conversations with real people about what their business is all about. You don't necessarily have to do it in person. I know there are other techniques. But I'm telling you, in person is always better. It's always better in person. So my time is up. Told you, 10 minutes. That's it. 10 minutes. So this is Steve Schiffman. Reach me, please, at @Schiffman, at steveschiffman.com. Go on the website. Go on Google. You want to look for me up there. Go to Amazon. Look, take a look at my books. 70 books out there. You should have 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 or 10. You should have my books. They'll help you. Simple stuff. I hope this has helped you today. So, this is me thanking you for joining me. You humble me by your presence.